Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining today, everybody, for another Tuesday discussion. Here on Tuesdays, we do like to answer questions that we are getting either from Patreon, Instagram, or YouTube comments, and we like to do so in video fashion. Today's question was all about gift giving. If I had any recommendations when it comes to whiskeys that are essentially universal gifts, regardless where they are in their bourbon journey, if they are just now getting into bourbon or whiskeys, or if they've been into bourbon or whiskeys for a long time, can I recommend 5 things that are easily found and would be appreciated by everybody? So we're going to go over those 5 bottles here today. And I have a bonus one at the end in case some of these are outside of your price range. So stick around. Thank you for joining me today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. So we are going to talk about 5 bottles today that are great gifts for just about anybody who is into whiskey. So if you pick up one of these 5, you can go into this with confidence that you gave a great gift, and regardless of where that person is on their journey. I think that's the hardest part. Now, the price range I tried to stick to on this list ranges between $50 to about $65. So we are talking about mid-tier bottles, trying to keep it as nice gifts. Now, at the end of this, I do have a bonus 6 bottle that is cheaper than all of these bottles, that if these are outside of your price range, you can go to defer to the 6th option. The other criteria that I put in front of myself when coming up to this list was they had to be brands that are at least widespread, relatively available, things that you could go into any liquor store around the country and probably find one of these. So we're not going to get into any single barrels. We're not going to get anything allocated, nothing that you're going to have to ask the cashier to pull something from under the counter. None of those games. These should all be on the shelf readily available. So, the first bottle I'm going to highlight here, this is probably the most tried and true of this entire list, but you can never go wrong with gifting Wild Turkey Rare Breed. This stuff is amazing. This is a daily drinker for so many people, regardless where they are on their bourbon journey. There is a range of stuff in here, a range of ages. Some of the stuff can be older in these blends. It can be really, really impressive. And you're looking to spend around $55. The next one I'm going to highlight, and this is going to be new to the list when we're talking about these tried and true bourbons, I'm going to throw this one in. It is on the shelves more and more often, though I know this one is probably the hardest to find on the list. But you might be able to gift this to somebody and they've never had it before because it was a 2023 release. That 2023 release came out earlier in the year. It really disappeared, and now it's coming back on shelves just in time for the season. But I think this is going to be a new staple that's going to be on these lists for a few years to come. The Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series Bottled in Bond. Now, very important here, if you are taking notes, this is the black label. It is a 100 proof, 6-year wheated bourbon. And for the people that can't find things like Weller or whatever they're looking for Buffalo Trace, this could be a very, very good alternative. And if they've never tried it before and you're the one to introduce it to them, hey, that's even more kudos for you. The next one is always a great staple. I always have one of these open on my shelf at all times, and it has been that way for 5 years now. I'm talking about the Woodford Double Oak. Now, this one I have in my hands is a single barrel. Do not worry about that. You can just buy somebody the regular double oak. If they happen to have a single barrel double oak, heck yeah, same price. You get a little bit of an upgrade, but just buy any one that you can find. These do range around $65, though. One of the more expensive ones that I'm going to show you here today. but this is tried and true. This is a crowd pleaser. And this is actually one of the bourbons that people find and cut their teeth on and then continue to drink years into their journey. The next one I'm going to highlight, this one might be harder to find, maybe, maybe not. I have been seeing it more and more often, but let's go with Jack Daniels. And these are going to be the single barrel proofs. Now, these are really high proof, so depending on where they are on their journey, they may have to drink this one over ice rather than drinking it neat, but they may not know how good Jack Daniels can be. And with these single barrels, these are some of the best things that Jack Daniels comes out with these single barrel proofs. It also comes in this very sexy bottle that is also not very reminiscent of necessarily the Jack Daniel's 7 that people have in their minds. This could change people's perceptions of Jack when you're giving this to them as a gift. They may not have thought of trying this one on their own if left to their own devices. Now, the last one I'm going to highlight here is going to be Old Forester 1920. You know, I've got this one in the glass right now. I do feel like we've forgotten about this brand just a little bit. If they don't have the 1920 or they also have the 1910, either one of those are good alternatives here. You are talking about $60 to $65. But it is really, really good Old Forester. And I feel like ever since the Old Forester single barrels came out, we always forget to talk about 1920 and how good it is. But occasionally I do put this one into my blinds, and it still does so well. So I'm going to recommend the Old Forester 1920. Now, those 5 bottles that I just highlighted do range between $50 to $65. If those are beyond your price point, I do have a bonus one for you. And this is one that people may have slept on. They may have just saw it on the bottom shelf and not give it a shot. So why not give it as a gift? This is going to be between $20 to $25. I've seen it as high as $30, but man, I've seen it on sale for $20 lately too. And that's going to be the Old Granddad 114. So this is coming from Jim Beam. I mean, this is essentially Booker's without being labeled as Booker's. It is delicious, delicious stuff. I always have one of these on my shelf at any given time. I haven't cracked this one open yet, but I am going to crack this one open just in time for eggnog season, because I do make my own eggnog, and I love mixing some Old Granddad in my eggnog by the warm fire. Oh, man. You know, it's really, really sad to see the cold weather come in, but then I think about eggnog and Old Granddad 114. That's going to be good. So that's one to keep an eye out for as well. This one's going to be closer to the bottom of the shelves as stated. It is only $20, maybe max $30. But once again, a very good bourbon. And there's a chance that who you're giving this to has never given this brand a chance before. Maybe this is the time that you introduce them to something that's really good. And if you were to pull that off, more kudos to you, right? So hopefully that helps you out on this gift giving guide. Let us know in the comments if you have any recommendations for anyone else that's going to come across this video that you would recommend to them as well, so that they can go through the comments and see what other people are saying as well. If you agree what's on the list, then say that too. Give the person that is buying their gift based off this video some more confidence by reinforcing it in the comments where you agree. Now, stay tuned. I am going to do a follow-up on this video and get more ambitious when it comes to the recommended gifts and highlight some different brands that have really come about mostly in 2023 that I think are going to be good gifts for this year when you're looking to impress somebody or looking to spend a bit more money. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, we'll catch you on the next Tuesday discussion. Goodbye, everybody.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say